Zone's top stories. Minor shot and killed in McKnight. St. Lucia establishing task force to respond to psychotic episodes. And U.S. teen holds students and teacher hostage. Good afternoon and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Wednesday, 26th August, 2015. I am J.D. Keynes. In national news, one person is currently being sought by local police for the shooting death of a 17-year-old male. The police have confirmed that around 9 p.m. on Tuesday, the unnamed male was killed in the McKnight area. He was transported to the Joseph and France General Hospital, where he succumbed to his injuries. ZIZ News will bring you more information as it becomes available. Members of the Special Services Unit, the Drug Squad, Special Investigations Unit, and Her Majesty's Customs and Excise Department carried out a joint intelligence-led operation on Tuesday, August 25th at about 12:30 p.m., which was deemed as successful as it yielded a significant quantity of compressed marijuana and a semi-automatic pistol with a magazine of 19 rounds of ammunition. The drugs weighed 6.1 pounds, which is estimated at a wholesale value of 56,000 East Caribbean currency and a street value of 168,180 EC dollars. A resident of Sandy Point is in police custody assisting with the ongoing investigation. The inmates at Her Majesty's Prison and the residents of the New Horizon Rehabilitation Center performed above average for the 2014-2015 CXC examinations. During the national CXC report, the Minister of Education, the Honorable Sean Richards, expressed his pleasure at the transformation taking place, particularly with the inmates at Her Majesty's Prison.
Where 15 of them wrote 19 subjects and returned 18 passes, or 94.73% pass rate, which comprised of 9 grade 1s, 6 grade 2s, and 3 grade 3s.
The residents at the New Horizons Rehabilitation Center, part of the juvenile justice reform, were not left out of the loop.
At the New Horizons Rehabilitation Center, 6 students wrote 18 subjects and returned 10 passes, or a 55.55% pass rate, which comprised of 3 grade 1s, 3 2s, and 4 3s.
Urish Natal initiated the CXC preparation and education programs that benefited the prisoners as well as the residents at New Horizon. Regionally, in the wake of another police slaying of a mentally ill person in St. Lucia last week, Health Minister Alvina Reynolds on Tuesday disclosed that special task forces are currently being established to respond to suspected cases of psychotic episodes. HTS News Force's Rihani Isidore reports.
Simon Gabriel, 51 years old from Vieux-Fort, was shot twice in the chest by Vieux-Fort police in 2014. Kevin Joseph, 39 from Soufrière, met his demise at the hands of Soufrière police after being shot last week. Both of these men were believed to be of unsound mind. Successive governments continue to struggle with the issue on safely subduing persons suspected to be of unsound mind without the use of lethal weapons like firearms. Some have suggested switching to rubber bullets and electroshock weapons or tasers. However, funding for the latter was allegedly diverted under the previous administration. The National Security Minister conceded budgetary constraints hamper the delivery of adequate training for the police force. On Tuesday, the press confronted the health minister outside the House. Alvina Reynolds disclosed plans for the re-establishment of community mental health task forces, which are expected to be the primary response unit for suspected cases of psychosis, are well underway.
The policies that we are looking at now involves a team which is within the mental health team on the ground. These persons work during the working hours, and when needs be, they might be called in by the district medical officer who have just been trained. They too are part of the team. We have just done training, and like you say, 30 years. I've been in the ministry a little over 3 years, going on 4. And we have done more than we've done in the past 30 years. We have trained the district medical officers. We have now installed back the teams, not in all constituencies, but most of them have mental health teams. They are stretched.
The security minister noted a use of force policy for the police is in the pipeline, and the health minister hinted at what she described as a mental health bill to be tabled before cabinet.
The services that we offer, they are now decentralized. It is not perfect. It's a process, and the process continues. As resources become available, we'll implement more persons, as you can see, under the 10th EDF, that is for the European Union. We have gotten training for more persons to go out and study psychiatry so that we can have more mental health nurses well trained on the ground. It's a process. Wherever it was 30 years ago and more than 5 years ago, it's much better now. Unfortunately, it is not perfect, and we continue to see that.
However, while policymakers deliberate on long-term solutions, the families of the victims, like Simon Gabriel and Kevin Joseph, say they want justice for the untimely deaths of their loved ones. Rihani Isidore, HTS News Force.
The start of the new academic year in the Bahamas is only days away, and according to ZNS Network News, teachers are busy making final preparations for the hundreds of public school students set to return to the classroom. Education officials say everything seems set for the reopening of school next week. Jaminita Swain has more.
Acting Vice President of the Bahamas Union of Teachers, Zane Lightbourne, said teachers are ready to return to the classroom. Lightbourne added that staffing is always a concern ahead of the academic school year, and it's no different this year.
We have a shortage of math and English teachers. We always can use more of those, but we have an oversaturation in the generalist area where the primary school teachers, we have still a number of them not able to be hired this year because we don't have the need for more generalist teachers. We need teachers that are experts in various fields, and so we are concerned that come this year it may be a bit strenuous on schools.
Aside from that, Lightbourne said another pressing issue is school repairs. He said contractors have given education officials specific assurances.
Because there are still a few schools, I know that the 8 Mile Rock School in Grand Bahama, that was the major concern structurally, and the contractors were working on that school, taking out ceilings where they had a bad problem for some years. And so with all of the other basic construction work in terms of concrete, repair, we are hoping that that is done within the time frame. They said that they can make the deadline, but we're watching that closely.
As for police officers on school campuses, Lightbourne supports officers on the campus, noting that teachers, students, and police all have a role to play.
The police were never intended to be in schools to issue discipline or to intervene or interfere with anything to do with the student-teacher relationship. The police are there to protect against crime, and that is their job in the country. And so we trust that the police force have trained officers who can perform their duties and understand that when they are performing their duties on campus, that they're in the presence of students, they're in the presence of teachers, and they represent, at that point, part of the educational system.
Lightbourne says he and his membership are prepared to continue the work of strengthening the education system this upcoming academic year. Jimenita Swain, ZNS Network News.
Internationally, a 14-year-old boy is accused of holding near 30 students and a teacher at gunpoint in a high school classroom on Tuesday afternoon before he released them and surrendered. Here's that story.
Police in northern West Virginia say a 14-year-old boy is in custody after allegedly holding a teacher and 29 students hostage. The student took a pistol into a high school classroom on Tuesday afternoon.
To a situation with a juvenile subject in a classroom with a gun. Several officers responded. Many first responders were on scene throughout the event. I'd like to start by thanking all the educators who were on scene. They did an awesome job of evacuating the facility.
School officials say the teacher did a miraculous job keeping the student calm. Authorities say the teacher convinced the boy not to let other students enter the room when they came for the next class. Those students alerted school officials about the situation. The town police chief negotiated with the boy.
And ultimately were able to remove hostages from the classroom, and subsequent to that were able to talk to the juvenile subject inside and had him surrender without incident.
Nobody was hurt. Police did not identify the 14-year-old student. A prosecutor says he could face charges. Sandy Kozel, The Associated Press.
As water parks pop up across the United States, there is growing concern about the risks despite how shallow the water is. The American Red Cross, a leading trainer of lifeguards, has added training for extreme shallow water rescues. Here's more.
A trip to the water park on a sweltering summer day. It's something that's happening more and more across North America, which is home to 1,300 water parks, more than exist in the rest of the world.
The water slides, the different types of activities keep them coming in.
Rolling Hills Water Park near Detroit features all the staples. Slides, a lazy river, and a wave pool, all of which are 5 feet deep or less. Still, accidents happen.
I have actually jumped in multiple times in the years that I've been a lifeguard. Too many to count.
This video, taken by a South Carolina water park manager, shows how quickly a situation can turn. Fortunately, the lifeguard spots the struggling child and jumps in. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission estimates more than 4,000 people who go on public water slides require emergency room visits per year. It's why Rolling Hills Red Cross trained lifeguards spend so much time practicing how to safely remove victims from the water, with an emphasis on caring for the kinds of head, neck, and spinal injuries that occur in shallow water.
We'll again practice these different techniques in rescuing in each situation.
As does SeaWorld. The water and theme park giant worked with the Red Cross to develop a training program geared for lifeguards assigned to water park attractions. The Red Cross now offers a professional certification for extreme shallow water, as lifeguards respond to the country's thirst for water parks. Mike Householder, Associated Press, Ypsilanti Township, Michigan.
And now taking a look at the weather. The temperature high for today is recorded at 82 degrees Fahrenheit. The St. Kitts Meteorological Service says seas are building and should peak near 11 feet. Therefore, warnings for mariners and sea bathers are in effect, and small craft operators should stay in port. Meanwhile, with Tropical Storm Erica approaching the Lesser Antilles, skies today will be partly cloudy, but becoming increasingly cloudy by tonight, with periods of scattered to numerous moderate to heavy showers and thunderstorms by tonight and early Thursday. A flash flood watch may be posted later today. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us this evening for the details to these stories and more. Thanks for tuning in, as I have been your presenter, JD Keynes. Have a great afternoon.